If you're in a multiple offer situation, is there a way that you can write your contract so you are guaranteed to have the highest priced offer? We're going to talk about that up next. Hey, what's going on, friends? Dylan Lanaka here at the Buy Big Island video blog, and today we're going to talk about escalation clauses. So you could be calling it a couple of different things, but basically what it means is that if you're in a multiple offer situation and you're competing for a listing as a buyer, you can put an escalation clause in as a special term in your contract, which would state something like you will pay $2,000 over the highest competing offer to guarantee that no matter what offers come in, if there's an offer that's higher than yours price-wise, that you automatically increase your offer price to above theirs, whether it's 2, 5, 10,000. You can make that determination on what makes sense for your offer, but it's a way kind of like online bidding where you can set up your bid to go $1 over the next highest bid until a certain price, or forever if you want a certain item. So it's a way to kind of guarantee, make your offer stronger. You think you're coming in with a strong offer, but somebody may beat you out by a couple $1,000. It's a way to kick up your offer by maybe a couple $1,000 more and put you in a better position to get that house that you're competing for. But of course, from the seller's point of view, that's a great benefit to the seller, right? The seller's going to get the highest price possible for their listing, but in all cases, it doesn't just come down to price in the negotiation of a real estate contract. So you want to look at the other terms that are involved in that contract as a seller's broker. If I'm gonna give advice to a seller, I'm not just gonna base my recommendation off of price. You want to look at the other factors in that offer, because there's a lot of costs in the offer potentially, like survey, staking, termite, other things that a seller may have to pay for, which a buyer may take out. And if you add those costs up, it may end up being the same or more as the price being higher of another offer. So you really want to take those things into account. And then financing is a huge piece of it, right? So if you have a cash offer that maybe is a little bit less than an offer with an escalation clause that is willing to go a couple $1,000s more, but they're a very low down payment loan, or you don't have a real good picture on their ability to qualify for a loan, that's something you got to consider, because that cash offer is a guaranteed thing, right? They have the cash available to purchase your house. They don't have to worry about getting an appraisal and going through underwriting with a mortgage broker and all of the factors that can come into play where a loan doesn't close because of a million different things when you're going through the process of getting financing. So that's one thing as a seller that you want to consider and make sure that your broker is evaluating and giving you good advice on, is what are the other terms that I need to consider outside of price, because you don't want to accept an offer that is just a couple $1,000s more, slightly higher than another offer, which in the grand scheme of things is much weaker. So you have a lot to consider in this situation, but as a buyer, it's a tool that you can use if you know that you're facing a multiple offer situation in a hot market, where you can put yourself in the best position possible to have the highest offer and hopefully get that offer accepted. So it doesn't happen really often in this market. I've seen it happen a couple of times this year, but in other markets where it's a very strong seller's market and buyers are fighting over themselves to try and get certain homes that hit the market, this is definitely a tool that you can use, and make sure that you bring it up. If your broker doesn't suggest it as a potential option, this is something that you can bring up and ask about to see if it makes sense in your situation, and will give you the best position possible to get the home that you are trying to buy. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Please like the page and subscribe. And if you need to get a hold of me, Dylan at buybigisland.com. Happy to help, and I'll see you guys next week. Aloha.